Okay, that's a little weird technical glitch. We're going to go back a little bit in time, back to the early 2010s, to a bit of secular drama about Elevatorgate. Um, Rebecca Watson has done a video on Epstein and Lawrence Krauss, and Michael Shermer and other people. Um, Epstein and this crew. And yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. I'm not going to say too much, many nice things about this woman because she's a bit nasty to me, rude rather, and she's a little bit aggressive. She's one of those types. That's what women are these days. I notice, especially online, they take a sign of kindness for a sign of weakness. So no positive talk. And it's interesting. I'm sort of persona non grata. I'm on the run afoul of both sides of this. The SJW, so liberal, left liberal side, and sort of anti-woke, right, libertarian people. Had both Jerry Coyne and PZ Myers write whole articles about me. The emails I sent them, that's quite funny. Um, and I've run afoul of the slime pit, and I'm blocked by a lot of the people of that big bird with the curly hair. I can't remember her name. And bloggers, the alternative bloggers they set up. I have sort of got. I did get on okay with Oolong, James Billingham, English guy who created the Blockbot back in the day, and um, yeah, I actually got online. I got on okay with him, despite our sort of differences, and he was sort of friendly with me on Facebook in DMs for a while, when about 7 8 years ago, 6 7 years ago. When I was on Facebook a bit more than what I am now. And I got on okay with him. He's fallen afoul of LATSOT, LATSOET, English guy, disabled, and he's gone completely the other way from sort of SJWism from you get from Farangula and the top free thought blogs. He's gone the complete opposite direction. He's a full hardcore turf now. GC, gender critical, or whatever they want to be called now. He's a hardcore anti-trans and anti-woke. He's done a full 180 on that side. I've had a couple of run-ins with him, but nothing too bad. I don't think. I'm blocked by a lot on Twitter and other places. Yeah, so I'm persona non grata at the slime pit, if that's still around. I did about 5 years ago. I had a look there. They accused me about 10 years ago. They said I threatened to kill Kanye West in a post, but that's not the thing. They just completely misinterpreted that. They didn't like my character. I brought in Bonkin Billy, who was extremely horny hillbilly. Um, and they didn't like that because one of them was getting a lot of traction. It's for an anti-woke account on Twitter, getting thousands of likes. A big one, run by one of the slime pit guys. I can't remember which one. Oh, Stephanie's Van was the one. She wrote, I think it's racist to be against thing. You're an anti-black racist. If you got a problem with banks, that sort of liberalism, usually say racist to anti-black racism. If you don't like banks, all the black people that run the banks apparently. She's still got the Orbit is called. I think that's called. They all shifted there when they had a fight with PZ over Ophelia Benson, and she's another character. She's a turf from way back. And she was PZ Myers' friend. And she was there with spouting all turf things, and that didn't, the pro trans people and the like didn't really like her, so she got put out and did her own blog. I said in a comment to her, this is going back probably 10 or 11 years, I said to her, she complained about a cartoon with Margaret Thatcher as missiles, as tits, her tits were missiles, taking her sort of militarism, and she didn't like it, Ophelia Benson. So I gave her an abusive message. I haven't even checked the blog since, probably 10 years ago. Yeah, she's a gnarly, ugly old woman. Another ugly woman. Ophelia Benson, grossly ugly. And so, yeah, I've run afoul of all of these people. That little Irish guy. Oh, God. All the slime pit guys used to comment at his thing. Michael, he was. Short little guy. He's big in the secular island thing. He's sort of right wing too. I don't think he really liked me at all. And the slime pit guys, I think Steersman is the one I remember. I think he's a NAFO sort of neocon now. One of the guys died, Lisuoma, years ago. I think he died of cancer 6 or 7 years ago. I got an email about that because I think I was still on the email list because they had my email. They were going to have a ring around for him, pay for his funeral and that. But I'll go back to going on a rambling. Here, Rebecca Watson, the Elevatorgate. I'm confused as what to actually happen. I obviously don't know exactly circumstances and who it was. But yeah, I was under the impression that it was fairly mild because it was a confined space. That was the drama. She said she made it feel unsafe, and fair enough maybe. But it wasn't anything really horrendous like you see, and the culturally diverse Islamic, mostly, and other populations. The sort of things they do to women. You see it on the news. Yeah, so if it was different for the Afghans, she would have been a lot worse situation. I thought it was a polite proposition, but she's talking about being groped. And we know she accused Nick Cohen, nasty Nick Cohen, who looks like a Russian serial killer, I said on Twitter. Bad guy, this Nick Cohen is friend of Riley and Oberman. And, yeah, so yeah, she's got a lot of rape threats and a lot of threats over various things, even before that, I think. Even before the Dawkins thing. I think when you look back at that and it depends on the context, doesn't it? If it was just a sort of a polite sort of sexual inquiry, you're more towards what Dawkins said. Because women over there, in Islamic countries and other countries, cop it a lot worse than anything that happened in the elevator, apparently. But if it was worse, then, it's a bit different. If there was groping and sort of threatening intent, maybe. So, I don't know. I think she might be being a little bit sort of deceptive, maybe, depending on what happened in the elevator. That was 15 years ago now. Gamergate was 12 years ago. All of this nonsense. So yeah, I don't know. She's a vaccine fanatic, poor old Beck, and sort of aggressive, a bit sort of arrogant. And we know Dawkins. Dawkins is apparently a pussy hound. He's quite a pretty man back in the day, and he's absolutely got a lot of money. Part of the aristocratic elite in Kenya, I think. A really rich aristocratic family, and he's just He's got all the money in the world, and he was sort of pretty back in the day. Old Dawk, so it's no surprise that he's still getting a lot of action. I don't know what to think of Slow Pit. PZ Myers, poor old PZ. I don't mind some of the people there. Don't like the SJW types. Svan and I don't mind Marcus Rannum. I don't go there much these days. Marcus Rannum, STD ERR blog. Libertarian sort of guy. He's pro hunting. That's one bad thing against him. Pro gun. He's out of the sticks, program guy. But he's a likeable sort of guy otherwise. And Mano Singham, he's a socialist. Old guy, Sri Lankan, I think, or Indian, and he's got sort of more orthodox left politics, socialistic politics. So I don't mind him, he's alright. And Richard Carrier, PhD. Don't forget that he's got a PhD. Big drama, Ophelia Benson, that was one of the funniest moments. He solicited for a date on his blog. And poor old Carrier, he's a bit of a pervert. And he went into Ophelia Benson's when she was still there. Before she left, he went into her comment section and told everyone that he loves to give women cum facials. That's what he said, Ophelia Benson. The old hag, sex negative, really dour old feminist. I can imagine how that didn't go down well. And I attacked him, I called him out, and me and another woman, before they had a big drama with Carrier over, ended up in a court case. I don't even know how it ended up. They were soliciting donations because he took them to court. And it was just completely crazy. I didn't mind. Carrier used to reply to all the comments on his blog when he was there. He's a Jesus denier. It's one of those people. But he did engage with the commentariat underneath his comments, and he's always fairly polite, but he's a bit dodgy. Don't want to have a court case. Don't want him to hear this and take me to court. But I'll save that and say he's a bit dodgy. But yeah, given that was hilarious. And this woman was the one who took it to task, and myself to a slightly lesser degree, in the comment sections of Farangula. I took a thing off. It was inappropriate and it was a bit creepy. But a lot of the perverts there, the sexual, the troons and the other types, you're trying to suppress his sexuality by, stop him being a deviant. You're oppressing him, oppressing his sexuality, his normal sexual behaviours. That was a general theme because they just think anything goes. And Rebecca Watson's, I got thrown off her Discord for mentioning that blacks commit a lot of crime with blacks, American blacks over there. And Rebecca Watson, I have the video, she said it herself about the blacks committing a lot of crime over there. As you know, and I just said there's problems with the blacks. Wasn't too bad. I could have gone full bore. I could have really gone full bore, but they don't tolerate any sort of pushback on their worldview, their sexual deviance with the troons, real sick people, the troons, a lot of them. And Watson is a big supporter of that. She's a bit of a sicko, I think, maybe a bit of a pervert. Maybe she can't help that. Maybe she's obviously not as bad as people like Shermer and Krause and Nick Cohen and all these other creatures. But she does encourage the troons post porn there, pornographic stuff, and stuff about sex toys and drugs and all that. I think she also attacked the Zizians, the cool troons. If I'm allowed to say that, yeah. Or, they seem cool. Bad people. I'll just say that. can't upset anyone. And she attacked Luigi. I think she's she was critical of Luigi and a bit of the fan base around Luigi, and that's not acceptable, Becky. In this house, we respect Luigi in any area, and we want him freed of these fake allegations. The setup. We say he's a setup. There's no real proof. It's all very dodgy. Taking the death penalty off. There's no real evidence against Luigi. So she's taken a few stances. And I did mention that Latsot fell out with Oolong. He's immortal enemies now. Latsot was commenting under Graham Linehan's Substack post. He's fully in with Linehan, and Linehan's gone off the deep end, Graham Linehan. And he's fallen out really badly with Latsot. Jane Oolong and Latsot have fallen out really badly. And if you not went around then, to know who these people are, that seems incredible. They were best buddies. And now they're just gone over the transgender thing. I don't know. I want to know the full details. I'm not going to demand them. That's a bit much. But I would say I'd like to know the full details of what happened in the elevator, so Watson can clear up the things, because she might have been grabbed. We know that. I think Nick Cohen allegedly she has made this allegation, not me, that Nick Cohen grabbed her in the bum. And there's also been a lot of threats towards her. Over the time, that's not really the thing. I don't know why you'd send a threat to her. Rebecca Watson. That's maybe politicians, not justifying that, obviously, that's terrible. Beautiful politicians and, people like Bezos and Musk, and, understand. It's understandable on an intellectual level why people might get angry at them, given the power and what they hold and how bad things turned out in the last 10, 15 years. So it's intellectually makes sense, but Rebecca Watson, sending death threats to Rebecca Watson is really off, and rape threats. And so I'd like to, if you knew the full details of Elevatorgate, because he was specifically referencing that Dawkins, I think, in the Muslim thing. I don't really want to go on this is sort of a long time ago. I've sort of forgotten about. There's sort of not much really in the main scheme of things for a lot of people. What happened in the elevator in Ireland, but exactly what happened might help to sort of adjudicate this. And Dawkins is hanging out with Epstein, I think. So we know he's in the wrong. But in this specific instance, the dealer was leave a comment at Farangula. He may be in the right if it wasn't too untoward. If it was a mild proposition in the elevator. Not a good, but to do in a cramped space, but would have been a lot worse if these had been culturally enrichers of Europe. And I'm going to say that straight out. That's the truth. She would have been in a lot worse situation. If these had been Afghans, or maybe Somalis, or Arabs, would have been a lot worse for her. And that's the truth. She'll say that's racist if he ever happens to hear this. But that's the awful truth. And as bad as Epstein that are, these other people are bad too. These tetrapods. So ideally we'd like to know exactly what happened in the elevator to be precise, a little bit of precision about Dawkins' Dear Muslima comment about what exactly happened and clear that up.